This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
This is Molly Chung.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Lexi Nieto.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is episode 181 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. I have my cousin Bobby back on the show again. As you can see in the topic here, the 40-year-old virgin. That is the movie we will be talking about on this episode. I know if you've been following the podcast, I know I promised Squid Game Season 2, but you can blame Bobby for that. So we pushed that to a later date, and we're going to talk about this movie because it's one of the funniest movies of our times. And before I even start like talking about this movie, I do want to just address a few things on the podcast here. If you don't remember or haven't seen any updates, I'm back in Detroit, so my background is completely like empty. I'm literally sitting on the floor of my room, trying to readjust and redo everything again. Yeah, so I'm not in Texas anymore, which sucks, but I'm doing what I can here and back in Michigan. And there's been some new updates here. You can see the background's a little bit different for these podcast recording sessions now. StreamYard has done a new update as well. So now I'm paying like $40 to use the service, but like I can get more perks now as well. And what else? What else am I missing? I haven't been training in like over a month and a half now, which fucking sucks. So I'm back to getting fat again. I miss doing Muay Thai and all that. But yeah, I believe that's the major changes to the podcast so far. Once this episode is back up, I should be back on like recording and updating with more recent episodes, because I know that all the stuff that's been recorded should be all up. The only thing that's not up is just the press interview with Miley Flanagan, the voice of Naruto, the English dub voice of Naruto. I'm taking forever to do that one because just doing captions for that is so tedious for like a 20-minute video. And honestly, I might just upload it without it and pray to God that you guys can hear the press talk. Her microphone worked, but on my end it didn't work, so like it's very quiet, so you could barely just hear it. But yeah, I'm working on that. But the episodes are back up and running again. So again, thank you, Bobby, for making time to be on the show again to talk about whatever topics that I bring up to you. I know that for the 40-year-old virgin, this movie goes back for us because this is something that we kind of like. It's quotable. We say this shit all the time in the house when I was living with you.
We watched this. You can't not love it. Every little line in there is just it has its little zinger.
I know you got done rewatching it today. I rewatched it yesterday for me.
Oh yeah, dude, I loved it. Yeah, and I watched the unrated version too, so I had all the extra stuff.
Yeah, the unrated version is much better. I think the jokes hit a lot better in the unrated version. But like what's funny too is I believe it's this year. This year marks the 20th anniversary for that movie.
Oh wow, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I have the information here, like, or I believe I have it. It's the release date was August 19th, 2005. So yeah, 20 years this year. So I was around 12, 13 when this movie dropped. So yeah, it's not a movie I should be watching at that age, but I did.
Oh yeah, definitely not for the younger ones for sure. But it's a generational movie. I would say that it's up there. You can't not see it and laugh or watch it.
It's something. I believe this is something that people should watch. I know the jokes might not fly in today's world.
The jokes will be. They would like. People will get
canceled.
Canceled in a heartbeat. With the stuff that they'd be saying, man. But it's so funny because the stuff that you could get away with back then that you could say, it was a joke. Like you never took it serious. That's why you can we can say it to each other because we know it's a joke. But nowadays people are sensitive. You can't say some of this stuff, or you can't say a lot of the stuff they used to say in these comedies. So
yeah, and I pulled up some of like the history behind this too. I know Judd Apatow. He's an actor and director as well. Him and his crew, they did this movie. They're the same guys that did like Anchorman, Superbad, um, Anchorman 2. What else? The TV shows Freaks and Geeks. Trying to pull up anything else that they did that's might be. Oh, the Talladega Nights, Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. A lot of these movies that me and you both like.
Still watch. Still watch.
And we still watch. And
okay, not like because we do the stupid shit that they do in the movies, and you just like it hits it, and then you laugh about it. So
it's. I wanted to say this too before we get into the deep dive of the movie, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall was another one that I brought up to you as well. It was between this, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Trust me, I would have done that one, but trust me, I think a 40-year-old, I rewatched it, but I didn't have to rewatch it because I could have done it without it. I just wanted to rewatch it because it's been a while since I watched it. So just to remember some of the stuff that happened in the show, in the movie and everything. But Forgetting Sarah Marshall, it still has some classic stuff, but I'll have to rewatch that one for sure to kind of hit some stuff. So.
And also to just add in, I don't want to out your age, but come on, Bobby, you'll be 40 this year. This is perfect. This is a perfect topic for you, man.
Perfect topic. I'm hitting the 40-year-old virgin. It has to be. Honestly, I'm leaning toward making that the theme of the birthday, the 40-year-old virgin theme or something. So.
You should have worn. You should have worn the smart. I know.
Damn, fucked up. I didn't even think about it. I was just like cleaning up before this too. Like, I was just kind of like putting stuff up, and I was all like, I should knock this out because I was starting to get a little tired. So I was like, you know what? Let's knock it out right now. So, oh man.
Yeah, and I got you that shirt for San Diego Comic-Con, so you wore that too.
Yeah, great shirt. No, honestly, like I said, I really am leaning towards that as the theme. So I might get a bunch of those Smart Tech shirts. Everybody can wear it, or come dressed at something like, and then do like a speed dating with the
man, that'd be good
and everything like that. That'd be hilarious.
Like the poker night, set up a poker table.
Yeah, just have some poker table set up and everything.
Oh man, dude, okay. So let's just get right into it, man. But for the viewers and the listeners, but we won't be breaking down the movie like scene by scene. We're just gonna talk about the overall movie, our thoughts on our thoughts on this, and like just like our favorite jokes, maybe like if there are any, maybe some like non-favorite moments, or the way how I usually review things on this show. But man, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, man, I'll start first, dude. Like, I remember watching this movie for the first time, and I don't know, maybe it's me, but like at the time when I watched this, again, I was like 12, 13. So watching something like a movie like this with a title like this, right? And I couldn't really comprehend this too much. Knowing the family that me and Bobby both grew up in, we both grew up in the church family. So like watching something like this is like a big no, like our parents would trip. Like, why are you watching this? This is so inappropriate. But my uncles on my mom's side took me to watch this, and it was completely different than what I thought it'd be based on just the title. And overall, man, like this as funny as this movie is, dude, like this movie still has a really good meaning to what it's like portraying, the message in this movie, the themes in this movie. That's why I like the movie so much, because it's beyond like the jokes and like the humor and like them making fun of Steve Carell's character Andy. Like there's just so much more depth to what they're portraying, and that's what I really enjoyed about this movie. But what about you, Bobby? What's your like, I guess, initial takes on this movie overall?
Great movie. I'll be honest with you, when it first came out too, mine is actually kind of a little funnier than yours. So, like you said, our background growing up to where we were and everything, Christian family, and everything. At the time, my ex, it was a girlfriend at the time, I still remember she told me, hey, my mom wants me to, we want to go watch this movie called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And I was all like, oh, okay, that's, you're coming from the religious side, like, oh, how to stay a virgin at 40-year-old. I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know anything about this movie at all. Like, I honestly don't even remember seeing commercials about it. And so I remember they came back watching the movie, and I asked her, like, hey, how was it? And she goes, it's not what I thought it was. And I didn't even know what they were talking about. I just kind of was like, okay, was it good or was it bad? She goes, it was funny, but it wasn't what I thought it was. And so, like I said, I didn't think much about it. I didn't watch it or anything. It was until my older brother Steve bought the DVD, brought it home, and then we watched it. And I watched it. I was like, oh my god, this movie's hilarious. Like I should. This is a movie you should have watched in the theaters. It was
Yeah.
that good too. But no, I agree. The title itself throws you off. You're just kind of like I said, growing up in the household that we kind of grew up in, you're just kind of like, oh, you look at it differently. And like I said, when I heard the title, I thought of it differently. But then it's a great movie, great title, great everything. So
Yeah, I think this movie, what makes it so funny too is like how young Steve Carell is at that time, and he pulls this character off so well. Like, and what's funny too is like I believe he was recording this, or they were shooting this movie around the same time they were doing like The Office,
yeah,
because there's like there's actors from The Office on
yeah,
this in this movie too. Yeah, so like it's hilarious, man. Like they poke fun of the idea that, you know, especially being a man, like if you're a virgin by that time, you know, it's like it's such a taboo.
yeah.
um
Like,
but
what are you
they
doing with
poke,
your life?
yeah, exactly, you know, like and what's funny is like during this time, or at least this time frame of the movie, like being a nerd and a collector like that, and like, you know, doing the things that Andy does in this movie was looked down upon during this. It's not cool like how it is today,
Look
you
at
know.
this show.
All your stuff in the background, all your figures in the background, bro. Like, dude,
I'm
like
living his
that.
life, man.
Oh my god,
I,
dude, like
I,
it's
I just
so
need the
different.
I just need the framed picture of Asia.
It's so different when you watch this movie and then like compared to today. It's that's why I love it, because like it's literally like a time capsule. Like, dude, like collecting comic books and action figures, and you know, like being
Figurines,
nerd, yeah, you know,
anything.
like
Yeah,
nerdy culture, like it was looked down upon so bad. That's why like a lot of us today who are like adults, like that's why we always kind of like complain about like, man, you kids are so lucky you guys didn't have to get picked on for liking this stuff, because this movie shows like he got picked on for
yeah,
liking this stuff, you know, like this
yeah.
there's the scene in where which we'll touch up on, but like the scene where he's about to bring his girlfriend over, or his date over, and Seth Rogen's character is like, you got more games than a teenage Asian kid, you know.
That's messed up, yo. Have you seen your house?
Yeah, so they had to like hide everything and pack everything back up.
You gotta
Oh
hide
man.
everything that makes you look weird. His apartment's empty.
So yeah, that's what makes that, again, that's what makes this movie so just clever and so hilarious and good. But yeah, Andy's character, or Steve Carell's character Andy, works at like Smart Tech. It makes me think of like the time where like we had cousins that worked at, I don't know if you worked there too, but like the Circuit City, when you guys were all
Yeah,
like,
I think Michael worked at, was it Best Buy or Cigarettes? I thought it was Best Buy, one of those or something. But yeah, they worked there. I didn't. I never worked there personally. So
but yeah, like, you know, they have Smart Tech, which is like the Circuit City Best Buy area, and like just seeing how Andy goes there to work, and like, and how he goes to work there, right? He doesn't even drive; he rides a bike to work.
right, the
So so like he rides a bike to work, and you know, you just see him like live his everyday life up until where they find out that he's a virgin, and you know, you get that, all that within like the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, which is absolutely hilarious, because it's the how, when they reveal like why he's such an odd character. I love if you watch the unrated version, I believe like they kind of talk about like where Paul Rudd's character Dave and Romany Malco's character, they kind of talk about like how weird he is, and
Oh
that like
yeah,
we need one more person to play a poker game, you know, like
yeah.
invite him. He's like, and I
He's
think
like,
Seth
he's a
Rogen's
serial
character is
killer.
like, yeah, Seth Rogen's character is like, he might turn us to a lampshade or something, you
I
know,
don't
he
want
might
to be
kill
a
us.
lampshade. Yeah.
So they bring him over to play poker, and this is where I believe this is where the movie just picks up, because from the poker game till the end of the movie is just jokes after jokes
Yeah.
after jokes, you
Jabs,
know.
pokes, everything, man.
Um, but yeah, when they play poker, and oh man, I just love Steve Carell's acting when they're talking about like experiences, you know, like adult experiences,
Yeah.
and the way how he's just like explaining how he's been with the woman, and like
Yeah.
the other characters are just looking at him
Yeah,
like they're all just staring at him
totally
like.
bullshitting. Like you're not confident in whatever you're saying. So and they can tell, and so they start asking him the questions. Like, oh, really? So how does it feel? You know, it's just stuff like that.
Oh man, dude! Like I love all the characters. Let's see. There's I want to make sure I name the character. So there's Dave, which is Paul Rudd. Jay, which is Romany Malco's character. Seth Rogen's character. What was his name? Damn. Let me pull that up. 'Cause Seth Rogen's character was hilarious too, because like he had really good lines in that movie. Cal. Oh man, that's his name. Cal.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Cal. Okay. And then yeah. So you see his coworkers trying to get him to just like open up more, and then when they find out that he's a virgin, and it's like you see how every character plays like your friends, you got someone who's like, oh no, we got to get you laid, man, like, and then you have Paul Rudd's character, he's like, no, stop being mean to him, like they're being like nice about it, and it's hilarious seeing their each of their reactions. But okay, before we continue on, the scene where they were talking about like their experiences, right? Paul Rudd's character Dave, that one made me laugh the most because he was talking about like, we shared the same heart and we were together.
Stop! We're trying to like be men and spray your craziness.
Britney Spears shit, like they're just like calling him out. It's like you get over your ex, like there's that too, which I love about this movie because like they talk about like aspects of like relationships, and you have Jay, who's like the player type guy. You have Cal, who is he calls himself ugly, but he gets girls. And then you have Dave, who is the guy who can't get over the romantic. He can't get over his ex. And so like they're each giving Andy like different ways to get girls. Like that's what makes it funny. So you see Andy's character, like you see Andy just like go through this movie and just like figure out like, who do I listen to? Do I listen to Cal? Do I listen to Dave? Do I listen to Jay? And they're giving him different like things. And then when they go to the club, and it's just like like it's
you just gotta run through some drunk code.
Yeah. Oh man.
On the unrated one, I love it when he's walking around. No, too drunk. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
You're getting the idea.
That girl's passed out on the seat. Like too drunk.
But you're getting the idea.
When Jay's teaching him like to look at that girl across the room.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not looking at her. I'm using my peripherals.
oh yeah, I see her.
I see a ficus, and it's right there. It's like, are you like messing with me, man? Like they just like make fun of him for it, and the way how they're like transitioning from like how Jay's like telling him, there's a code in every man to tackle drunk bitches, yeah. And he's like, I'm not tackling these drunk bitches, and he's like, I didn't say that in a derogatory way. You did. So it's a lot of like back and forth in that, and then it's funny seeing how like a character like Andy, someone I can relate to, right? Because I'm a big dork like that. I'm not great with women, so like seeing myself in that character too, and then knowing people who have like game and they can get girls and they can pull girls, and just trying to emulate that. Like I that's why I love this movie. It's very relatable, and like you just see the humor and everything. You see Andy's ups and downs when it comes to talking to girls, the drunk girl at the bar to Beth.
Be the one to drive home, Ricky, when you drive a drunk girl.
Maybe you shouldn't come with the bike,
Maybe you shouldn't ride a bike.
They give him so much shit for that too. Like
when he gets there, like, oh, you had a daiquiri, didn't you?
Oh man, that scene was so gross, dude. When she threw up on him.
Yeah, she's like, I still have sex with you. No, I'm okay with the sex now. You had a daiquiri, didn't you?
Oh, that scene was gross. But yeah, and then there's a theme too, like they say this joke a few times too, where like when he gets upset at Jay, he's like, how am I supposed to like talk to these girls when I can't do this? And Jay's like, well, you're putting the pussy on the pedestal. Like, oh man, like it's and that joke, it's a repeated joke in this movie where like how guys get so scared of like talking to girls where they hype it up too much, and The way how they say it in this movie, I love it. It's like you're making it seem like she's some Greek goddess and you can't obtain it, you know.
Great goddess named Pusaliah.
Let's see. I know we're like kind of going through the movie again. So, but Bobby, what are some of your like favorite moments in this movie, man? Like
so many, dude.
Like from the jokes to like certain
jokes
scenes or dialogue.
The dialogue, the storytelling, and everything. Because like at the end, you're obviously you're rooting for him to get with the right girl, and obviously lose his virginity to the right girl. But just how they're teaching him and just showing him all these steps, like I said, like the club scene where they're like, oh, go pick up drunk girls, and then it doesn't work. And to the where they even they do the speed dating contest, and he can't find, he uses the technique that just ask questions and it'll work. And it worked one time, and so he tries it and it doesn't work, and so and then from there it's just like, and then they get to Jay's party and it's just like they're just like, you know what, we're just gonna get you laid, and it still doesn't work, and then it's finally like, and it's also motivation for him to like, you know what, screw this, they're putting so much pressure on this. And it actually pushes him and motivates him to like, you know what, I'm going to take that dive to go talk to the girl that I want to talk to, because this is the girl that I want to be with, and everything. But the nervousness about, or just him knowing that he's a virgin, and he's scared to tell her because obviously she has kids of her own, and he thinks it's weird, and he has that stigma. He thinks everybody, since his friends are making fun of him about that stigma, he thinks it's weird too. And so he thinks she will think it's weird. If she laughs at you, just punch her.
Dude, that's a great point you brought up too. Is like how his friends, like they put that they plant that idea in him, right? Where where do you want to call her? When's the next Olympics? That's the next time you next time you call her.
Don't call her.
Like you want to tackle these hood rats, and then that way you can get with her, Yeah, but that's a great point too. Like because when he meets Trish in this movie, she's just some regular lady who's had a divorce, has kids, has a grandbaby, and that's one of the jokes too. Like, oh, she's a hot grandma, like
scientist or anything, but that's a grandma.
So there's moments in that where like you see Andy, like he wants to like have a meaningful relationship without the sex, but like everything around him is about sex.
Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of how this world is too. Everything you see on TV, on YouTube, or anywhere you look, everything is about that. And so it is a good portrayal of that. Of just seeing the stuff, how the world is portraying what this, like I said, how we grew up knowing what this is and everything. And so it is that type of pressure and type of thing. So.
I think that's what makes the stigma of that being like bad too. Then you see someone like Andy's character who is a genuinely nice person, right? He just doesn't have any game.
Yeah.
But like he feels emasculated because he's never had that experience, and then to do that with someone that again with either hood rats or drunk girls or like people you don't know,
Jay's party,
like it's crazy. You see how he's like, how Andy looks at this, like, man, why is it so hard to like just get this act out the way?
Find the right one, or find the one I want to do it with or something.
But yeah, it's just hilarious, man. Like to see how like it's just funny because you see his coworkers are like they're coming from a good place, but they're just so bad at it.
Exactly. It's like supporting your boy. You see him in the game and you want to like help him out. Help him score or whatever it may be. But then like it's like they don't know what they're doing either. They're over here just kind of shooting the shit too and trying to figure it out. So.
Yeah, so you see like how like I think one of my favorite parts too is like seeing when Cal finally opens up to Andy, right? Cal's like, it's like, you don't need to be like Jay and wax your chest or like do whatever he does because that's lame.
Look at me, I'm ugly.
Yeah, and so he's like, look at me, I'm ugly as shit, and I can still get girls, and then that and then just like the whole yo-yo master and all that, dude. Like that part is so funny to me, and it's just like it doesn't matter if you're ugly as shit or ugly as fuck. Like you just have to. Like you just have to ask questions and have
Be confident.
confidence,
Yeah.
And
Which is
so
true. Like that, I feel like half the game whenever you do speak to women is just having the confidence to do it. And women love confidence. It goes a long way. They're like you look at some of the women that get these guys, or like guys that get these women, dude. You just gotta make them laugh, man. Trust me, it goes
yeah.
a long way.
That still applies to the majority of like the dating scene today. I'm a big believer in that. Like I think that the dating scene has changed a little bit in today's world, especially with like social media and dating apps and all that. But still, like when it comes to person, it's still having the confidence to talk to someone, ask the right questions, right? Just not any question. Ask the right questions.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes the stupidest question, it breaks the ice, and then they're either thinking you're weird and want to know you more, or thinking you're weird and want to get away from you. So either way, they're thinking about you. So it can go either way. It's just like I said, it just depends on your confidence in your game. And like I said, you see it in this movie. They all have different ways of getting girls, and it works for them. Jay has his good looks or whatever, and he gets it that way. Kyle has his ugly look, but he knows how to talk to girls. And Paul Rudd's character, he just knows, he's in love with his ex the whole time. So
I think Dave's character was probably the only one that like was morally the closest to what to giving advice, because he was like telling Andy like do you not want to experience that with someone, it's such a beautiful thing to do with someone. And like you get with her, then you break up with her, then and then he goes off on this whole spiel.
That's love, man.
Yeah. And then when he meets her at the fucking speed dating scene, I love that scene too.
I want to take you on a vacation. Let's go to
let's make love under the Eiffel Tower. And funny enough, that was Mindy Kaling from The Office.
Yeah,
so I thought that was funny too.
You need to stop messing with my friend. It's fucking with his heart. It is messing with his emotions. Deleted my number and changed my email. He's basically stalking me. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh man, it's so great watching that whole speed dating scene again. So.
Like you just see how and the consequences of that, right? Because you see Jay's character pretending to be like a doctor, and he's writing notes about certain girls, right? And
the wife or his girlfriend finds it.
Yeah, dude. Like this scene still circulates on like shorts and reels and stuff. Like just like how Andy's taking the bullet for Jay's like, she was a hoe. For show.
My speed dating card. I was looking for that.
That is a good friend, man. Like he took the bullet. Oh my god, dude.
So you said this girl was hurting for squirting.
He's like, I remember that girl.
I remember that girl. And then he's all like, hey, I try to be nice and civilized, trying to introduce him to some nice women, and hey, he didn't want to do it, and that's his problem. He's like, you need to get your girl on a leash. Know what I'm saying?
Oh man, dude, that part was so funny because then you see Jade like you can't talk to her like that.
You talk to her like that.
They're just running wild, man.
Yeah. Not saying. What's up with all the inquisitions?
I've never even met you.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like because this character doesn't even talk like that. He just turns into that character,
Like he's just improvising on the spot to save Jay's face.
Yeah.
Freaking hilarious, man. That's such a good scene.
Oh, that was such a great scene. Even like I said, even when the part where when Kyle introduces him to the girl in the bookstore, he's all like, "It's easy. You just have to sit there and ask questions. Women don't care about. They want to just talk. So you just give them something to talk about." And then he just walks in there and he just literally asks questions the whole time, and the conversation just carries on because he carries it on with him just asking questions. It's hilarious, and sometimes that works too. So,
dude, look, watching that, dude, like Elizabeth Banks was so young in that movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude, she was so young in that movie, and it's crazy because now like you see her in like the Hunger Games, and
I just watched the new Power Rangers where she plays
she plays Rita.
Yeah, and I was like, that is her in there. It's just funny because whenever you told me to do this, and I just watched that movie right when I was when you told me asked me to do this.
And her character is funny too because she's a freak. Like she is
Oh yeah,
weird, and so she scares Andy too. That's what makes it even funnier. It's
you're
like
holding on to my belt.
yeah, you're like because okay, you know, to bring this topic up, like you think that's the kind of girl like every guy would want to go for, right?
Yeah,
Like she's nasty, she's very
hot.
open and she's wild. But like, you see Andy's character like, dude, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like that girl scares me, you know? Like
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but that girl scares the living shit out of me.
yeah,
I just want to go home.
yeah. So you see like his change in
Yeah,
character where he realizes like, dude, this is not someone I want to
I
be
wanna
with,
be
man.
with
Like
you.
but I also love like aside from like all like the funny jokes and humor like when you finally see the story build up to like where they're showing like the relationship between Andy and Trish, right? Like they kind of just get to know each other. He helps her at the at Smart Tech to buy like a VCR DVD combo set,
Yeah,
and then they get together and then they have dates and then he meets the family. I kind of like that too because now you get to see Andy like Andy's character go into like a real relationship where he's like doing the things he never got to experience with in a more adult way where like it's mature. It's a mature relationship. It's not like hookup culture or anything. But it's also funny just seeing him interact with that family because
the
Kat
daughter.
Dennings in that yeah, she's so young in that movie too, and how when he takes her to the
The
was it
sex clinic.
yeah, the clinic.
No, not even that, dude. Whenever when he's trying to put the condom on and he's like putting it through his hand,
Oh, he
and
put the Magnum on. He's like, I'm Aquaman.
the guy walks in and he's like, "Oh my god, how many times did y'all have sex?" And then the kid is all like, "Teach me your ways."
Yeah, that scene was funny as hell because you just see it all on the floor.
On
Like
the
he doesn't
floor.
even know how to put it on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he just like,
He's reading the instructions and then
yeah,
he can't figure it out and everything. So
bro.
it's
The part
hilarious.
when he like tasted
Oh
the
yeah,
lube in
yeah,
the
yeah.
condom. Oh my god, dude, that shit was
It's
so
slimy.
nasty.
Why is this wet?
It's so gross. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And then like when they go to the clinic and you just see like he's telling the daughter like, oh, I'll go with you. It doesn't hurt to know,
To learn, yeah, to
Yeah,
learn some. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
yeah. And what's funny is the doctor in that clinic, that's his real wife, the
Oh,
blonde
is it?
lady.
No, I did
That
not know
yeah,
that.
that's Steve Carell's actual wife.
Oh, okay, that's good
So
stuff.
that's what makes it even funnier because yeah, and he's like, "Is it true? If you don't use it,
Use it,
you
you
lose
lose
it." He's
it.
like, "Are you serious?"
No,
And so like it's just funny like how like that's where the daughter finds out like how Steve Carell was a virgin in that movie. And so like you kind of that's where their relationship builds as like just getting to know each other and then
and I think she finds it like more respectful. Like, hey, you're not here to fuck around with my mom.
yeah, exactly.
And that's why she likes him.
Yeah, I think again that's what makes like the relationship that he has with Trish in this movie like a good part of the movie where it's aside from all the humor and stuff. But then yeah, like when they start when they get into like a big argument like when it comes to like selling the toys and then like where Andy like is starting to face like, oh man, she's serious. She wants to like,
Yeah, she's
they
changing
want to.
me, and I'm becoming this, and I'm becoming this. Yeah,
What's also like because his fear of like not telling her that he's a virgin,
yeah,
and then that's what causes him to act out.
yeah.
And
Not
I
to be
think that's
himself, or just be true to himself and
yeah,
be truthful. You know.
and I think it was like just that fear that he has throughout this whole movie where like he got laughed at and then he got made fun of, and so he didn't know how Trish was going to react to it, so he never told her the truth. And then like again they have their fight and then at the end he tells her and she's like okay with it.
Yeah.
And it just shows you like when you meet the right person like that shit doesn't matter, and but that's what makes this movie so good. It's just like again aside from all the jokes and the humor, there's a good message in this movie, like being a virgin or not having bodies is not a bad thing. Like
Yeah.
it's something that
Be
when you're in a real
yourself. Be
yeah,
confident in
exactly.
yourself. So.
Like when you're with the right person, like you guys will work together and make things like make a healthy relationship and not be like, not be like Jay, who is like cheating on his girlfriend and like,
I came home tipsy one night and I left the condom on.
he's like, I'm insecure, man. Don't you know that?
Don't you notice? You know what's funny? So the part where she comes home after Annie leaves that girl's house and she's at his house and then she's all like, "Oh, what's this?" And he's like, he's holding the diagram of the woman's heart.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then-
that's
and
the
then he
same
just-
model that at
Yeah,
the clinic.
the one, the broken part, and he's all
Yeah.
like, "It's for educational purposes." And then she goes, "Oh, is this your date rape drug?" "Oh no, it's Mentos. It's the fresh breaker." Lynn saw that and she goes, "Is this why you like eating Mentos?" I'm like, "No, Mentos are actually pretty good.
It's a mint.
It's a mint." She's like, "Oh, is this your date rape drug, Molly?" I'm
Yeah,
like, why
your
am I date raping myself? I'm eating this candy,
And it's like, oh, because like, yeah, she saw the big box of porn
Or
that Dave,
James.
that Dave gave him in the movie. Like he's like there's some like
Everybody
sexual
loves Raymond.
deviant
No,
or
that's just a great show. And even that part where he's gonna watch the porn and he's like turning everything away, his fingers, his
Oh, yeah.
camera, And
Trying to
he's
make
all
it
getting dressed
intimate.
up for it, and
Got the
everything,
candles
getting ready-
lit.
Yeah, getting all prepped for it just to do his own thing. Oh man, such a great scene.
And that's also like a topic, right, that they talk about in this movie. Is like how celibate he is, right?
Yeah.
Because the scene where me and you quote to each other a lot is like you see Cal and Dave talking to each other, they're playing games, and like maybe that's why he's so like young looking, because he's celibate.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything.
He doesn't have someone like sucking the soul out of his body,
Even at the end where they were like, "Oh man, how did they afford this wedding?" He goes, "This guy had toys. He sold a bunch of toys. We need to get him to buy some toys."
Yeah, and that's what's funny, because he has all these collectibles, and like where Cal's like, you need to like, you got to get out of the box like these
Yeah,
toys,
yeah.
man. Like, set them
Like,
out,
get
let
some
them
fresh air.
breathe.
Yeah. Don't touch it. It's gonna lose value.
And, like, you framed an Asia poster.
Yeah, how much should they laugh at you for framing an Asia poster? Oh man,
There's very few of those posters. I've been like looking at to see, because like I looked online to see if they had like printable copies of it. There's not a lot. Like it's actually like there's
is it like a movie?
no, it's like it's a one of their tour posters, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like one of their tour posters or like an album poster.
Oh, okay.
It's very few of them, but like it's just funny because we say that to each other when I was living there. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you framed an Asia poster, like of all things to frame, like
Yeah. You framed this. Like, how hard did they laugh at you when they asked them to frame this? Oh man, such a great clip, man.
If anything, I can say like if there's anything that I didn't like about this movie was probably the ending when they did the singing. I usually kind of just skip that part now.
Honestly, that part didn't bother me too much. In the beginning, when I first watched it, it was kind of weird and cheesy. But then, for me, I think how the movie is, it brings it full circle, in my opinion. Because he finally got to have sex, so it's like a big
so like, he's celebrating.
You know?
Yeah,
they're all doing this Aquarius and everything, and they're all singing and dancing and celebrating and everything like that. So it's pretty funny. So did you know the part where when he was getting waxed, he was really legit getting waxed?
Yeah. He had to grow out his chest hair or his
hair.
pretty much body hair. Yeah. That scene was funny as hell.
Painful. It's hilarious, but look painful, and those are real reactions that you're getting out of him. So
yeah,
he obviously commentated on top, but yeah, those are real painful reactions.
I'm kind of glad I don't have like chest hair like that, man.
Oh,
like
same,
that's
dude.
that's a
I
bit
would
much.
hate to have to keep myself that well tamed there.
Speaking of that, too, that's where like where Andy's like he tells Jay like do you think I'm a good looking person? Like he asks about his looks because he's insecure.
Yeah, because I would be honest with you. you're not gonna believe me, but you are. It doesn't. You can't see it or you can't feel it, but it's there.
You're like a diamond in the rough. You
Rough,
know,
yeah.
gotta get
That
rid of that
Wolf
Teen Wolf
thing.
action. Yeah.
You gotta wax that right off.
He's like, does waxing hurt? He's like,
Yeah.
no, not unless you a bitch. You know.
He leaves. Why he's doing it? He's
Yeah, and that's the funny part. He's the first one to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, hold my damn hand.
Oh man, that was such a great scene.
And now he's bleeding through the shirt too, and he's going home.
And they make him look like a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not even his whole chest. When he takes his shirt off at the end of the movie, it's like just spots. So, just like spots. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah, dude, that's why just shave it off, man.
Would you do that though? If they paid you to like, you gotta grow out like your body hair so we could wax you off, would you do it?
I mean, they have to pay me a good price to do it because like I said, I've never got waxed before, so I don't know how much it hurts. It doesn't look fun, I'll tell you that much. But give me a price point, I'll probably do it.
Would I do it? I'm pretty sure. If I got paid to do that, I probably would.
Ricky, we
Like-
got to do this one scene, but we'll give you
Oh,
2K,
man.
and you just gotta grow out your chest hair, and we're just gonna wax the shit out of it.
Like if anything, the only thing I like wax was like my eyebrows, because like I get the ends of my eyebrows get like super bushy, so I clean that up. But like, oh my god, I can't imagine the pain. Like if it's like just full on like body hair,
Ripping out, yeah.
and it's like thick too, and it's not trimmed or anything. It's just like straight up, just pulling. Oh my god, that shit will hurt. And it's just funny because like the Asian girl who was doing it was laughing too. He's like, why are you laughing? It's not
you're
funny.
so evil. Yeah, the most I've ever done is like tweeze my eyebrows, and those already hurt enough. Like just kind of pulling here and there. So I can only imagine like a big strip of just ripping it off being painful. So now, yeah, I definitely would hurt and cry. That's why it would cost a pretty penny for me to have to go down that route.
Let's see. There's another good part that I like to where so the part after Jay's party, right? And he's yelling at them in that little home office
room, yeah.
Yeah, and they're watching fucking Bourne.
Yeah,
it's like,
Bourne.
Yeah, so like his friends just like their minds go off topic too. Like, oh man, I always thought Damon was a Streisand. He's kicking ass in this one, you know.
And then the two girls are outside, like, oh man, look how manly he's yelling at them and everything. Look, stay out of my life. Leave me alone. I'm gonna tell Paula you're stealing all the recordable CDs. yo, Andy, they're just recordable CDs. Don't overreact.
Oh yeah, that's the funny part. To Paula, I forgot the manager at Smart Tech shop.
Yeah.
She was funny too, man. Like,
yeah, she's pretty funny.
Let me see if I can pull. She's in a lot of like movies and TV shows too. I'm gonna pull up her name just so I have it correct. Jane Lynch.
Them and her and all the characters. There's a lot of underrated. Even the Indian characters in there. Hilarious.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They just have like one-line zingers in there that are just hilarious, and you just laugh at them. Like they don't stand out, but they do enough to where you're just like, that was funny. So.
Yeah. They're just memorable things, like the older Indian character. He's telling like,
character or still
yeah, he's like, I'm not poaching your client,
right?
You know.
I'll stab you with my sheet, or once my blade has been unsheathed, it cannot be put back into it has blood.
And they just argue with each other.
Yeah. You still and then my shit? He goes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're friends again.
Yeah.
And then they're like whenever
go
they
fucking go.
Yeah, go fucking go. Why do you always telling me to go fucking go? And even when they're setting up the party, they're like, why weren't we invited to the party? He goes, it's not like that. He goes, all right, fuck it. You're not gonna come to our party either.
Let's see, I'm trying to think of another good part, like another small clip. Let's see.
There's so many, man. So
dude, like okay, the speed dating scene where they're introducing like the girls that he's talking to, and the girls like,
Gina,
so you're Gina or Gina? He's like Gina. To this day, dude, like I cannot see that name Gina the same because of that.
Yeah, say Gina.
I honestly can't. If someone's name's Gina, I'm just like, It's like first thing in my mind is that scene is like Gina.
No,
It's
yeah,
like,
no, the speed dating scene was hilarious too, man. When especially when what's his name pretends to be the doctor, and Jay pretends to be the doctor and just telling the BS stories and everything.
yeah.
Like that. But yeah,
Uh,
no, the speed dating scene was great. I don't know. Like I said, I can talk about this movie all day because there's just so many funny clips in even like whenever he finally gets the balls to go and talk to her at the store. Jonah Hill was in there. And,
yes,
Jonah
that
Hill.
was I believe that was Jonah Hill's first film like appearance.
Oh, I
I
didn't know
want to
that
say that's
either.
his first because that was before Superbad. So like,
Yeah,
and he had a small little scene.
yeah, with the fish boat boots or something.
Yeah. That was good too because he's like, why can't I just buy this
Like
now?
here,
You know?
yeah. Why do I need to go online? And I know it's kind of weird, but that's how the store works.
He's like, I just
I
want to
just-
buy these and wear these at home.
home, yeah. I just want to take them home and wear them. Why do I have to go online and buy them?
Yeah, he was young in that movie too, very young.
But you also, like I said, even half the stuff they're talking about in that movie, like I said, the VCR DVD player, like dude, we don't
Yep.
even have those anymore. Like, is it
Portable
the
CDs.
portable CDs, the
Yeah.
eBay on store where you had to either do that because you couldn't do it yourself. Like eBay was so hard to use back then, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you had to actually go to somebody to actually sell it for you. It's in a different time, man. Like compared to
Yeah.
what we're at now, and you look back on it, like I said, like I already watched it, and just watching some of this technology alone in
Yeah.
that movie, you're just like so outdated, you know? Like we
Yeah.
don't have those anymore. We don't have Best Buys, and well, we have a few, but you don't have those circuit CDs or big electronic stores like that anymore. You know?
Yeah, like selling like the big sets of like the TVs, like that guy
Yeah.
that bought the Michael McDonald CD because he wanted the set.
Yeah, exactly. We don't
He's
have
like,
that anymore. Everything's
I'll
online.
throw in that CD, the DVD for free if you buy
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Or when he was trying to sell them on this the TV, he's all like, "This TV is so makes the animal look. Oh my god, I thought it was real."
Yeah, the butterfly.
Yeah, the butterfly.
Dude.
So
For real, like I don't even think we have stores like that anymore because like the scene where Jay was watching the zombie movie, like they had like they have like the whole living room set to show you like this is how your house could look like with the TV.
Yeah.
And he just watching that. It's like the store
Paula-
slow today, so I'm just watching this movie.
Paula won't let us watch this, so wait, did she come back? No, that's true. Like, I mean, like I said, there's probably like a handful of like Best Buys and everything, but like those big stores like Circuit Cities, Fry's, they're not there anymore, man. So like, it's hard to kind of see how these movies, like if we were to remake 40-year-old Virgin right now, you couldn't do it, or you had to find a different aspect of it.
I think that would be more like, oh my god, an updated 40-year-old version. It'd be all through like dating apps, social media,
social media,
dating apps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Tinder, and Buzz,
Yep.
whatever all these other ones are. So.
And again, like we said earlier in this episode, like the jokes would not hit the same. Like
there's a lot you can't say. Like there's a lot I'm not saying on here. Just to
no, exactly. No, that's why I made sure not to say the things I wanted. There's funnier stuff in this, or I believe there's funnier stuff in this movie, but I'm not saying it because I don't want to get dragged on the internet either. But I'm pretty sure we might get dragged regardless on what we talked about. But it's this movie's a fucking classic, man. I love it. That's why I love watching it with you because me and you, we both know the lines. We quote it to each other.
Back and forth, and whenever it hits, like we can when the situation hits right, we know when to say this. So.
But yeah, man, like this pretty much like our thoughts on this movie, man. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other things that we probably missed. But again,
I know there's a lot of, like I said, I can talk about this movie all day. We still quote this movie to this day, so it never gets old. So
yeah, but to the listeners, man, if you got through this far of the episode, please watch the 40-year-old version. Watch the unrated one. You could buy it on digital. I bought mine on YouTube, so you can buy it on YouTube or buy the DVD and Blu-ray. Did you know that there's also like a sequel? I don't know if it's like to this movie, but they made one that was called the 41-year-old version. It was like a B-rated.
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't even know that at all.
It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like related to it or not, but it's like it's one of those B. I never watched, but I seen like the cover and it's like a B-rated movie. I'm just like, yeah, that's whack. But yeah, like
not canon to this one, then I'm not gonna watch it. So
yeah. Well, what's great about this movie is just the cast and crew. Because for like if it wasn't for like a movie like this, we wouldn't get like Superbad, Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, all those kind of like, I guess you could say like
comedies,
pothead movies, you know,
comedy
like
where
yeah,
they're stupid comedies, but they're hilarious. Like you
yeah,
just look at it and you laugh at it because it's just like stupid funny. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like all the snow, that type of character just makes you laugh. You know? So
yeah. Um, Guess you have any last words, Bobby, about this movie? You want to talk about anything? Any
no,
last?
I would say go watch it, go buy it. I bought it like just because it's definitely a movie I would rewatch. You know, so like I said, usually I if it's on like Netflix or something, I'll try to watch it. But then I don't even think it was on any free like or any streaming platforms or anything like that. I know you gave me your YouTube to kind of use it, but then I was like, man, screw it, I'm just gonna buy it because I know I'm gonna watch it over again. So I ended up just buying and watching it too. So and luckily it came with the unrated version. So
Yeah, I think when it was on streaming services, I think it was on Netflix a while back,
yeah,
but it was just like the
the
theatrical
rated
cut.
version. Yeah, yeah, the actual
So
cut.
like
So
the jokes again, that was still funny, but there's like when you watch the unrated version, the jokes hit
yeah,
better, and they're just like extra like couple second scenes or like they add on to it.
yeah.
Um, if anything, I think for me there's a deleted scene that I wish they kept in was when at Jay's party when he became
Oh, the
friend. Yeah,
friends,
when
and
he,
they start playing
yeah,
cards or something.
yeah, when he got to know the process too, and he was like playing cards with her. Like I thought that would
That
have
was
been like a good like post credit scene or something like that.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot. I can't because I watched the unrated version, so it's been a while since I watched the theatrical version, so I can't remember what's what. I know there's a few in there, but there are. I think even the peripheral version, when they're in the club, I think that was on the unrated version. I don't think
Okay.
that was on the theatrical one. And there's a few of the club scenes that were in the well, he tripped over the drunk girl. I know for sure that was in the unrated version and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
the poker scene's a little bit different too, because like
yeah.
there's the part where like Jay's talking about like how he can't satisfy his girl anymore. Like there's the theatrical one is like him talking about like how he looks up at the ceiling and like and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's
In
not
it, yeah,
satisfied. But then in the unrated one, he's talking about like he made love to the soles of her feet and all that. Like the dialogue's a little bit different, you know. So
different.
like there's slight changes to it, but like I said, I think the unrated one the jokes hit funnier. So again, if anyone who's watching this episode, go watch that movie. You know, take away your guard and just have fun watching this. Who cares about what kind of jokes they say? It's
It's
all
a
about the humor.
movie. It's a comedy. Just
Yeah,
laugh.
the
Nobody's taking
story
what
is
they're.
a
Yeah.
yeah the story's good. Just watch it for the jokes
Don't
and
take it serious. Just go in
exactly.
there and watch a movie. It's a movie. Just go in there and watch a movie.
But again, Bobby, thank you so much for giving me your time
Um,
to do this, man. I know that we've got a lot of other things to go over eventually later on this year. I know that I talked to you about like doing a like a Rick and Morty
oh yeah,
seasonal review.
I'll be ready for
Hopefully
that.
hopefully we can do that. I'm saving that one for like the countdown to 200 because
Okay.
that's like so that'll be like in the next 10 episodes or so because like I
Okay.
think once I get to like 190 um we're gonna start talking about. Oh, did you want to take part in the Attack on Titan review too? Like just the finale, like not like the whole show, just the finale.
It don't matter. I mean, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm always down. Just hit me up. Let me
yeah.
know whenever you do it. So I'll let you know if I'm
Okay.
free that time or whatever. So, but I'm always
Yeah,
down.
because I figured I have you on because you've been on most of the Attack on Titan stuff that
Yeah.
I've talked
I
about.
love, like I said, I love doing this. So anytime, just let me know when you want to do it, and I should be able
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah. So again, for the fans and listeners, keep an eye out for those episodes. Again, me and Bobby will be talking about Rick and Morty. That's the one I'm waiting for. I'm trying to get like these other like episode numbers filled in so we can hurry up and get to Rick and Morty. Because if you think we like this movie, wait till we
Rick
watch
and
and talk
Morty.
about Rick and Morty, man. Like, oh my god, dude, me and Bobby will go off on every
Yeah.
season.
And
It's gonna be
Rick and Morty is one of those like it comes off weird at first, but the story depth just got so good, and you
yeah,
just stuck on that with everything else going on, the jokes and everything. Like I said, even if you don't like the jokes, the story itself is so good. So that's why I
yeah,
say Rick and Morty. Yeah, he crosses a lot of lines too, but
yeah.
it's still funny, man. Like I said, don't take it serious. It's still funny. So
All right. So yeah, so this is pretty much it. This is episode 181. Again, Bobby, thank you so much for your time. Again, folks, go watch the 40-year-old virgin. Give us your thoughts in the comments if you've seen it. If you have not seen it, watch it and then let us know your thoughts on it as well. Keep an eye out for upcoming episodes. They'll be on all podcasting platforms again. And yeah, and just keep an eye out for whenever I get this last press interview that's way overdue up with Miley Flanagan. let's see, let me think of any last words or updates. I don't think I'll be doing any no conventions this year, trying to save money and keep myself in shape too. So I don't think I'll be at any conventions this year, but definitely take a look at, just the episodes, and just keep an eye out for all the spoiler force stuff. So again, thank you guys so much, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.